Hey friend, how you been? So I just got a notification that my UGC package has been delivered at my virtual mailbox. It's actually a physical address that I'm gonna go pick up the parcel from, and I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow or Saturday. Their hours are a bit tricky, but excuse me. The virtual mailbox hours are a bit tricky because I also work my 9 to 5, so I have to go pick it up after work. However, what is very interesting is that this is one of the unexpected costs of UGC that no one really told me about. So ultimately, when you're working with brands, sometimes they want to send you a product for you to review. The last thing you want to do is use your own physical home address for security reasons, obviously. But you know what? If you feel comfortable giving out your physical address to anyone out there in the world that you don't really know, then I still don't recommend it, but do you, boo? Whether it's the virtual mailbox, whether it is the equipment that you're going to use, the cameras, the tripods, the SD cards, the, what are these things called? I'm actually using one right now to just charge my mic that I'm using. I have to use a mic today because the heater is on and I can hear it. It's pretty loud, and in my videos it's very hard to remove the noise that it adds. It's really hard to remove it, so I'm gonna use a mic. And also I just came back from the gym, so please forgive me of my appearance. Too much coffee. Anyways, yeah, I want to walk you guys through the different costs, the different things that come up, and the different things you've got to calculate and keep in mind when it comes to expenses for someone that wants to do UGC. So it's not free. Obviously, there's nothing free in life, right? We knew that. You have to think about like the operating costs. So some people get like a dedicated domain for their emails. So what that means is that you're paying for like a Google domain or a suite or whatever it's called. It's usually when you see someone have an email like utakpan@ugcbyut.com. So not at gmail.com, a very specific like ending to their email. That means they're paying for that. And that on its own is also an additional cost. So let's write down dedicated email. And it doesn't mean that you need these things to start, okay? You don't need these things to start. I have been communicating with brands and working with them with an email address that ends in @gmail.com. So you don't need these things to start, but these are some of the costs that could come up as you grow, or if you want to do this from the very beginning. For my UGC portfolio that I did on Canva, I bought a dedicated domain. I wanted it to look more professional, so I said, splurge. So I bought it, and so I had to also pay for that. Another thing as well is I have been getting some gigs from Upwork, and something that I haven't really gone into and talked about more in depth is that in Upwork, you actually have to pay for connects. Nothing is free. We already knew that. But girl or guy, you have to pay for connects. You have to pay for connects to use that to apply. And that is another cost. I can't remember how much they're charging for it. And I don't know if it really matters because when you join the platform, you get to choose whether you want to buy it or not, and the prices might be different by the time you join. But yeah, you have to buy some connects, and then you use those connects to actually apply for the jobs. Another thing as well that comes up in UGC that a lot of people don't talk about is time, the cost of your time. Brands want you to do free work. What is wrong with me? Girl, brands want you to do free work, which means you're literally trading your time just to build up your portfolio. So you gotta calculate that as well. That time you could be using it to do something else for yourself that could bring a different type of ROI. You could use it to do a part-time job where you do different things and then you get paid for that. So that time that you're spending doing UGC is also a hidden cost. So I've talked about the equipment, I've talked about the mailbox, I've talked about your email address, I've talked about the Canva domain for your UGC portfolio. And something else to also consider is for people that do gifted collaborations, there is a possibility that you're gonna have to pay taxes on the amount that you were gifted. So let's say you got a hair shampoo for $100. Tax on that would be what? maybe $13 in Ontario, then you might have to pay that when you're filing your taxes. So it really depends, but that's just like some of the stuff that you have to think about. Doing UGC is not free. It's not something that, okay, even if you say it's free because you're just posting on social media and tagging brands, what money did you use to buy the products? How did you get the makeup? How did you get the blush, the hair? Those are things that you're buying. Those are things that you're buying. And you might say, oh, but UT, I'm going to use them again and again and again. But still, if you weren't doing UGC, would you spend the same amount of money? If the answer is yes, then perhaps no cost to you. But if the answer is no, if you find that you're shopping a little bit more to diversify your portfolio, then that is also an additional cost. One thing about it and two things about it, it ain't the camera that is the problem. A lot of times we go out there, we're like, oh, we want a good camera. You can use your phone. You really can. But the real game changer is lighting. In this video, I'm using an artificial lighting because I'm shooting indoors at about 8 p.m. because, I don't know, my schedule, it is what it is. But yeah, like you've got to have good lighting. Especially if you don't have the flexibility to always shoot during the day. If you've got a 9-to-5 job, that means that whenever the sun's out, you ain't around. And if you ain't around, how you gonna do the job? Unless you have lighting so you can shoot indoors. If you try and push it all to the weekend is gonna be so packed. And how are you gonna have like a work-life balance, a social life, all of those things? So yeah, I think lighting is an additional cost. A lot of people will just opt for some kind of light that is powerful enough with a soft box, okay? Because a soft box is gonna give you that more even distribution of light, and that's what you want. Okay. Well, unless you're doing beauty. If you're doing beauty, skincare, sometimes it's good to have harsher lighting to kind of mimic the sunlight and how it drops shadows, but that's a whole other conversation that we can chat about later if you really want to really know about it. Let me tell you something. Come closer, let me tell you something. Sometimes you need props. So you want to take a picture, you want to take a video of that shampoo, of that conditioner. Sometimes you can't just put the conditioner on top of the table and just be like, oh, there's the picture. Maybe if you have a very cute washroom, then that's your prop. But if you don't, chances are you're gonna have to get a little put something behind it, put something around it. That is still an expense, okay? It's still an expense. Sometimes you're doing your skincare video, but you also want to wear a robe, okay? You want to show that it's a nice, cozy vibe, or you want to wear a headband. These are props. These are the things that make the video tell a story. You understand? You get what I'm saying? You understand? I hope you understand. Oh my goodness. Did I tell you that sometimes to put yourself out there, you got to run them ads? Did I say that to you already? What is wrong with me? Did I tell you that already? Because if I didn't, I'm telling you now. Sometimes on Instagram, on different social media platforms, if you want to really if you want to really boost your portfolio, get in front of more eyes, you can treat your content creation, your UGC, as a business. And what I mean, businesses advertise, whether it's organic or paid. So sometimes you've got to do the paid ads. Not always. I mean, some people will be like, oh yeah, I agree, all organic. And that's great, but if you're able to get people that resonate with the message and you just had to pay to get in front of those eyes, it doesn't take away from the fact that you were able to still resonate with people because you ran an ad. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you got it organically or if you paid for it, in my opinion. Okay? From a marketing perspective, you've got the eyes, you've got the audience. Nobody goes to these big brand companies and asks them, did you do it organically? Because I see you running them ads, okay? How can we trust you when you're running ads? No. These big companies pay for ads, okay? They pay because they want to get in front of more eyes. And then they also do organic content because it's a business. It's a business. Now that we've talked about a lot of things, Is UGC worth it? You go first. What do you think? Is it worth it for you? Is it worth the investment of your time, your money, your soul, the things that you want to use for other things that you're going to have to pour into this to make it grow? Is it worth it for you to go online, be vulnerable, authentic, put yourself out there, build a community, resonate, all these different things that you need to do? Is it worth it for you to feel the pressure of having to post because you got to post the content? You gotta post the content. Is it worth it? Well, whatever your answer is, put it in the chat. To me, it is. To me, it is. Because you get to be creative. And if you do it the smart way, you get to be successful. Stay in it, grow it, do it, be passionate, find the brands that will fit what you're looking for and put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid, girl. Don't be afraid, guy. You got this. You got this. And until next time, friends, keep creating, keep being good, keep showing up. You got this. Bye, friends. Bye.